Hello everybody! Today I am about to review something that you may find sad, but inspiring. But first, I just watched The Chicken Squad last night, and let me tell ya, Tom Rogers created an excellent TV adaptation to the book series. If you haven't watched that, I guarantee you'll enjoy it. A new episode is coming next Friday at 7:30 or whenever. And I hope you really enjoy the show. It's really epic and awesome. Okay, let's get into it. I am back, and here I am with what I'd like to call a sequel to A Day Without Tears. Plotline to what I'd like to call a second day without tears. Bambi is feeling very, very depressed because he misses his late mother so. And guess who this co-stars? Thomas the Tank Engine. That's right. Thomas wants to help Bambi feel like himself again. But the question is, how? So, right off the bat, I can tell you this. George Garza, the YouTuber, posted this episode. And I gotta hand it to him. That fanfiction is to die for. Definitely worthy of crossing over other characters for the story. So, anyway, let's get started. Yeah, it pretty much starts off with springtime, and Thomas being the happiest tank engine of all saying, "I bet Bambi will be happy to see me. I've been working so hard, I hardly even had time to say hello." And then, once he sees Bambi, he toots his whistle and says, "Wake up, lazy bones!" Thomas? Yeah, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer would definitely not call that a good time. And then he'd hear Bambi crying. And Thomas would ask, "Why are you crying?" Bambi confesses, "I was thinking about my mama." And then Thomas is all like, "Oh, still missing her, yes?" And Bambi says, "I miss her very much. It's been too long since I have last seen her." Then he starts to cry again after saying that he loves her so much and he'll always remember him. Her. Barnacles. Sorry. Anyway, Thomas' smile then disappears. He feels very sad for his friend and doesn't know what to say. Instead, he just chug slowly away, leaving poor Bambi crying. Annie and Clarabelle, his cabs, get concerned for him, for both the tank engine and for the fawn. I think Annie even says, "You're puffing much slower than usual, which is sort of odd of you." Then Thomas spreads the news to Henry, who says, "What are you talking about? He's grieving for his oh dear." Do you know how sad SpongeBob would feel for Bambi, audience? he'd be trying so hard, Squidward would get a full-grown headache. Now, do I consider this an episode where Squidward would tell Bambi to knock it off? Not really, since Squidward's not a part of this. But if the Enchantimals were, you know how concerned Vanessa would be? She'd be real concerned. Anyway, that night Thomas is talking with his other tank engine friend. And then Gordon says, "Why don't you just try to shut him up? Simple as that. Anything to make him snap out of it. You are, after all, at times a rather silly engine." And then Thomas is all like, "Gordon, are you serious? Bambi has lost his mother. He can't shut up that simply right off the bat." And then Gordon's all like, point taken, I'll be quiet. And then Edward makes a good point saying that the poor fawn is traumatized. And then James and the others wish there was something they could do for the fawn. But then the next day, Thomas goes to find Bambi's friends, including his doe friend, Feline. Trust me, if Rudolph and Zoe were there, they would get real concerned. Then Thomas says, "What's the matter, everyone? You look as if something you lost a pound." And then Dumbledore's all like, "Bambi is missing!" And then Flower would say, "We knew how sad Bambi was for his mother, so I went to his place. But he wasn't there." And then one of Dumper's sisters goes, "We asked his dad that too. He hasn't seen Bambi since yesterday. He wasn't even with them in their den last night. He looked for him the whole night through, and he can still hardly find him." Then Feline starts to cry. Right off the bat, Ronald Blacktail, yes, I'm calling him that, would say, "Good riddance to bad rubbish." And then, if Willow the Angry Bird was in this, she'd say, "Come on out, Bambi! Come here, Bambi!" Yeah, I'm throwing these things in, if anyone's wondering. Then the Great Prince comes up. Then Flower says, "Any good news, sir?" And then the Great Prince says, "I am afraid there is no sign of Bambi anywhere." But then Thomas thinks as Feline cries and says, "Where else would he have gone off to that's only in the forest?" "I think I might just know where Bambi is!" And the Great Prince is all like, "You do?" And Thomas is all like, "Yes! Don't worry, everyone. I'll find Bambi and I'll bring him home in one piece." Then Feline and Thumper hop aboard and they're off. And then Thomas stops at Bambi's old place where he used to live. And then Thomas shouts, "If you're there, please come out!" To their surprise, Bambi does come out. And Feline and Thumper shriek, "Bambi!" And Bambi's all like, "Hello, guys." And Feline goes, "We were so worried about you. I was so worried about you." And then Bambi says, "Well, I ran away because I needed some time to think. So I decided to go where I used to live with my mother." If Rudolph were in this, Bambi would definitely explain the situation to him. And let me tell you, while Rudolph would be happy to have a mom, he would totally understand Bambi's pain. Even if he does have the red nose while Bambi has a black. Then Feline says, I know you love your mother very much, but you're not alone. You got your dad, you got your friends, and even I'm with you. We all love you to the moon and back, Bambi. And I definitely love you very much. And then Bambi smiles and blushes and says, Thank you, Feline. I love you too. I love all of you. And then they all smile proudly and Thomas says, Let's get you home. Cue the one train ride late tale. And then one of the Dumper sisters shrieks, Thomas, Feline and Dumper found Bambi! They all cheer, and the Great Prince, even the Great Prince is smiling instead of giving a stern face. He even says, Bambi, sweet boy, I'm so happy to see you. Bambi apologizes for running out on his father like that. Surprise, surprise, though, the Great Prince says, That doesn't matter, little one. You have returned unscathed, and I am only relieved for that. And Flower goes, Oh, I'm so happy to see you're all right, Bambi. Bambi thanks Flower, and then you have all these other tank engines, too, saying, We were worried sick about you. And Gordon said, When word spread that you went missing, we've all joined the search party. And then Red Owl says, We're all happy that you're all right, but let's try not to make this a habit for next time, shall we? Good call, Red Owl. Good call. James says, We're happy to see you in one piece. And Edward adds that you're safe and sound. And then Thomas asks if Bambi feels alone anymore. But Bambi says, Not anymore. Thumper says, We'll never leave your side, friend. And I'm going to throw this in. The Great Prince says, I'll always be here for you, as long as ever. And Feline goes, And I'm happy to be with you, sweetums. Bambi smiles and says, Thank you. All of you. And the engines toot their whistles and the animals make their animal noises like barking or bellowing or squeaking. And Bambi is the happiest of all. Now then, before I end the video, there is one final dream sequence where the mother deer says, I've been watching you, seeing how you grow every day. I know you've been sad these past few days. I miss you too. But remember, you are never alone. Even if you don't see me, I'll always be here. And then Bambi cries. Surprise, surprise, not. Bambi cries, and there are tears we see in his sleep. Much to a happy and sad ending. Now, on to final results. So where a blue day for Bambi is going on the scale? George Garza, I'm going to give your masterpiece a high good. It was very inspiring for me, and if you're wondering, Georgie, your masterpiece is how I got inspired to write that Cake-tillion fan fiction. Excuse me, everybody. That was my lunch. Anyway, I am definitely hoping that someone can write a Rudolph and Bambi crossover fanfic for this. And I'm hoping it... I definitely call it a sequel to The Day Without Tears. Like, because Coincidentally, both the actual episode and the fan episode revolve around two celebrities actually crying. For SpongeBob, it's about the random stuff, but for Bambi, it's about something really important. To those of you who lost a loved one, you have a blue day for Bambi to watch on YouTube. Then you can write your versions of it and review how you'd write them on your YouTube videos. So anyway, George Garza, yes, Thomas, Bambi, and Friends, A Blue Day for Bambi is a good episode. A really solid episode with a really solid story. And in my opinion, you definitely need to get that animated and storyboarded. You have my vote. For anyone else who agrees, please comment below. And Walden, Hubbard, this YouTube video is for you. Thanks for being a good friend during our peers conversation. So anyway, that's it with that, everybody, and I'll see you next time. Da, 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 da.